What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Double Thought Show. We're back. I'm RJ here together with KR. Well, let's jump right into today's show. KR, what's up, man? I have a question for you.
Tell me.
So, interesting developments in the last couple of, or at least the last week. But have you ever turned the page on everything in life? Because basically, that's what Dame Dollar did. Damian Lillard. He got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. And we're gonna talk about Jimmy Butler, I think, in a while
Yo,
as well, because his
Jimmy,
reaction was
before you continue, Jimmy was wilding. I don't know what he thought with that hairstyle, man. Dude,
it wasn't the hair, it was everything, man.
but
Well,
continue.
let's save it for later because we also need to discuss the whole Trevor Bauer. That's gonna be another story in itself.
Hey, yo.
But yeah, man, Damian Lillard got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. All the rumors were indicating that he might go to the Miami Heat, but eventually went to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
And that was a big, let's say, big deal in itself, right? But it seems like he literally decided to close a chapter and leave everything behind in the previous life, including his wife.
Yo, this is crazy, yo. Eh, uh, Before we continue, man, let's talk about the trade. Let's start talking about the trade because I didn't expect the trade, to be honest. I don't follow the NBA, but what I know from Damian is that he was one of the last Mohicans when it comes to joining super teams. He refused to join super teams, right? He thought he could bring the rings to Portland himself.
Yeah,
By
well,
law.
yeah, what you see is a lot of times, and you mostly see it in s- um, you mostly see this with players that are playing in a smaller market.
Mm.
They, if they're a superstar in a smaller market, everything gets entrusted onto them. If you go play for the Lakers, man, no one cares about you. You play, if you play bad, they're gonna boo you, and then so they can cheer for you today, boo you the next day, and then you'll be gone because it's a place for superstars.
Yep.
But especially players in smaller markets, they oftentimes get a lot of burden. They get the keys to the city. They can eat for free, and in restaurants and all these type of things. And I do think that sometimes they are forced in a to a certain extent in a corner, not literally, of course, but they feel
Yep.
a bit obligated to give back.
Mhm.
And how do they give back? The loyalty. So indeed, Damian Lillard still stayed there. He always had, well, not always, but he had like very good players that came and went. But yeah, at some point you see it as well that sometimes players get fed up, and especially if they haven't won a ring.
Yeah.
Because another player who was, and I think still is, well,
Rings. Charles Barkley.
no, 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 player that is, or that was until shortly, also, I don't want to use the word threatening, but was basically the messages could be interpreted as minor threats to the ownership. Uh, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo himself, the same player that David is going to join in the Milwaukee Bucks, because he was also talking not reckless, but he was also saying, "Hey guys, make some
Need
moves
some
because I
help.
need to win championships." And you see
Need
it,
some help.
yeah, and you see it. I mean, for a player, at some point, especially if you're a superstar, you want to win as well,
Of
and
course.
you can win MVP, you can win conference player of the, or you can win the conference championship. You can have great highlights. You can be uh, a topic for discussion as it relates to the Hall of Fame for the future. But at some point, people want to win a championship
You have
as well.
you want to have the I would say that your name written
Yeah,
in the NBA history books,
yeah,
because there are a lot of great players that haven't written their names. So where we still talk about them,
yeah.
we have great highlights, but they have nothing to show. This might sound harsh, but they have nothing to show for. Only highlights.
I wouldn't say nothing because, for example, but it's not nothing to show for, but the discussion gets, uh, especially if you retire, it becomes a discussion about championships, championship rings, right?
Yeah.
So Charles Barkley, for example, has a banter with Shaq continuously about their championship. Of course, it's a friendly banter, but it always comes down to I have more rings than you do. And the funny thing is that Kenny the Jet Smith, who also is a member of inside the NBA, has a ring. I believe he has one
And he
ring.
has a ring too.
But Charles Barkley was by far a far better player. But if you don't have that ring, people are gonna start talking
Reckless.
greasy. Yeah, yeah. And I think,
Greece is also the way to put it. They
yeah,
will talk reckless to people
yeah,
about the
as if there were bumps.
yeah.
I mean, even if you win championships, even if you win three, even if you win three NFL championships and become a Hall of Famer, people will still,
You're a bum. Oh no, not only that. You're a Hall of Famer too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and so I think that when you, it's all fun and games when you just get in and people start talking about greatness, but if you're so great, especially if you're better than a lot of players or you think you're better, you want to have a ring. You want to have a ring to prove it.
Yeah,
But
I do believe that. I totally agree with you on that, because at the end of the day, I mean, you want to have something, right? Something tangible of your time in the NBA.
okay, but KL, yeah, okay. So that's the game part. So we understand that. What's the reason for leaving the wife behind as well? That's
I have no idea. I think they have been together for how long? Let me see what they've been together since high school. No, college. Since college, they met at Weber State University and married it again. They've been together forever, and then they married in 2021,
hmm
the year after something happened.
they're a Corona couple.
Why did you have to use the word? You come on,
We're
some
talking about beer, man. We're talking about beer, right?
don't even reference the beer. Don't even reference the beer. Look, I don't think the algorithm even knows the difference between beer and the other thing.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You're trying to get us.
No, man. But I think that the yeah, but they got married, right?
They
I
got
would
married. They
assume
were
that they were already talking about marriage, so it's not like they were like a fresh couple.
no, they were not. They were not. They weren't the fresh couple.
Because that was the case with Jeezy, young Jeezy and Ginny Mai, which we talked about a couple of shows back.
Yeah, that was a bit of a different story indeed. But if I look at it, they were together for I think more than 10 years probably before they married.
Yeah.
Because he played like 11. How much seasons did he play at the Bucks? Like 11
The
seasons, something like that, right?
Portland.
No, Portland. Yeah, he's now at the Bucks. Yeah, he played like 11 years, and so they've been together for a long time, like seven or something. So for him to leave her this way, I mean, restart. You should restart your life. You, it's not only the portal that was dragging me down; it was also you. Eject. Let me
I need
feel it. I don't
I
have
need
no.
winners. I need winners in my professional and private life.
You've been dragging me down. You've been holding me down, man. It's enough. Enough is enough.
Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
Maybe that's the reason why YouTube. Anyways, let we should Reselect our clips. That's all I want to say. Speaking
Oh,
of the algorithm,
we've been using this.
this is the yeah okay,
My
but
bad, my bad.
no man, but it's a very I think that because they traded for Drew Holiday, and Drew Holiday is also a very great player. I always
To the
when it
Bucks.
comes from the Bucks.
To
So yeah, so Damian is getting Drew Holiday's spot,
Mm.
but Drew Holiday is a very solid point guard, solid defense. He's not a flashy player, but I like him a lot as a point guard. I used to have him on my fantasy basketball team. I'm not playing fantasy anymore because I ain't got that time, man. It's like if
Or were you getting crushed?
no. I was always in the no man. I always reach the finals.
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
always reach the finals, or I lost
People say
one
I don't
time. I
know.
lost one time. I lost against the one time. I lost against the winner, so I won third spot. The third
Mm.
spot, but there's the winner is a guy he always has like so his strategy was always but yo it worked. So what he used to do was he used to invest in injured players, injured superstars at the beginning
Mm.
of the season. So he would start like terribly, and as the season progressed the players would start working, but I'm not talking like 4 weeks in, I'm talking like after the all-star break. Like the superstars would start
Half
playing.
of the season.
Yeah, but then he would make it, but with a team so strong that
It's impossible.
it's impossible to beat. But
Mm.
but it was either that or he would gamble and lose everything. So in that year, I think he did win. But
If
usually that's a
your strategy, yes, it's either all or nothing that
yeah
way.
yeah. But yeah, fantasy basketball is something else. But I was talking about that because I always had Drew Holiday. So a couple of players that are solid point guards that I like, that are not flashy point guards but very solid. Drew Holiday, Mike Conley is also one, and I forgot Jeff Teague also one. So those are very. So I used to have like those players, very solid players.
Mhm.
But and with regards to the Bucks, when you have Drew Holiday on your team, you have a very strong defensive point guard.
Mm.
He's a very good role player, but
Don't need role players though.
that's the thing, right? So I think that the reason why they went and got Dame Lillard was to have another superstar that can help Giannis.
Yeah,
That's the
you
reason why
want your
they
point guard
got him.
to be a star at least. I mean, or near a star, or a fallen star. One
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
three, not the role player.
yeah.
But yeah,
So
I mean, it's crazy, right? If you think about it, he was, to be honest, I like him as a player, as a person. Actually, as to his character speaks to me. I don't watch a lot of NBA, but I remember how he reacted when he got. It was, I think, one of the. It wasn't the finals, but he was in the playoffs, and he beat. I don't remember which team a couple of years ago, right? And then he stood there like, "I'm that guy." I can't
yeah,
remember
he had
which.
it like a couple of times. I think the latest one was against I want to say OKC. Yeah,
Could be,
he sized up Paul George, and I was watching it because Paul George also has a podcast, I believe, and he was talking about it on his podcast, and he was saying that he was like defending Dame all out. Dame was like way behind the 3 point line,
oh yeah, that
and
one. Yeah, I
and
remember.
he
Yeah.
was like waiting for him to or at least he was expecting that he would go inside, right? So make a move and drive, but he saw that he was just sizing him up, and he was like, Paul George was like,
He's not gonna shoot
is this guy gonna shoot it? He's
from
not
there.
gonna step a side step, shot it, made the shot, and ice cold.
Ended the game.
Just
That's
did.
crazy. Yo. That's
Bye
crazy.
bye.
I like
That
him.
was
I
a
like him. And the attitude of not wanting to be traded to a super to create a super team. I really like that. Trying to do it by yourself. But at the end of the day, if you don't have the support to do it, it's all very hard to do it by your own. You cannot make 70 points. If you have bombs around you, sorry I have to say this, but if you have bombs around you, or 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 you're the only star player surrounded by guys that are good enough, role players, you're not gonna make it.
yeah.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. At the end of the day, the way the it's the way
Mm,
NBA is structured these days, man. There are a
yeah.
couple of star teams, and then some crash, like the Nets.
Yeah. Well, not the only exception that I can think of is LeBron James,
Which one? Which?
The Cavs championship. Because
Mm.
I think he had like a lot of role players, but LeBron. I think you had LeBron and
But
Kyrie was
he had
also
he
there.
had who?
Kyrie Irving was also there.
Oh, yes, I was about to say he had the flat earther with him, so
Yeah, the flat earther with it, yeah.
the gravity was working his way.
But I
That
mean, it's not like a superstar. It's not like the best team superstar wise was the Miami team, where he had
yeah.
Wade Bosch
Great Bosch.
and afterwards Ray Allen, who shot that.
Ray was cold
Yeah.
during that
Who?
time
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Ray Allen. Who?
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna. I don't know if you can classify Ray Allen as a superstar. He's not a superstar, I think, but he's an elite 3 point shooter. So that's
I think Ray, if you look at him as he wasn't a star, he's like they say the rapper's rapper. He's that type of guy.
a
Like
rapper.
rapper's rapper, yeah. He's so complex. So when they say the rapper's rapper, he's not mainstream. It's a great rapper. He's a great rapper. Structure wise, a lot of good songs,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have the backing to go mainstream. I think with him, with Ray, he was like a player's player, and also maybe people he was underrated. He
Yeah.
wasn't like
Well. Yeah. Because I was thinking because he was part of the Boston Big Three, right? Am
Mhm.
I saying this correctly?
He was a
You
part of
had
the
KG, you had Paul Pierce, and I think Ray Allen was the third one. Yeah, Ray Allen was the third one. Yeah. So they did regard him as a big, let's say, an elite player, the Boston Big Three. And when he went to Miami, he I don't know if you call it the Big Four because Bosch was you. The thing is that the thing about LeBron is and that's the reason why I think he was so successful and is successful in every team he went to. When he goes to a team, he becomes the lead player. And Miami was Wade's team, and Wade was in an interview or on a podcast. He was saying that he consciously made the decision to step back and let this team become LeBron's team. And that's why they could win. And if you don't, then you can ask.
well, apparently.
Then you need to ask this question: what does Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and a lot more people have in common? They were all traded.
R.I.P.
They were all traded. Sorry,
Kuzma went back, right?
what?
Kuzma went back, right? They got him back.
Uh,
Is he
maybe.
traded again? I don't follow the NBA, guys. I don't follow the NBA, so don't look at me weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I
but
don't
this
know.
is look at this. Look at this.
D'Lo went back. I think.
This.
D'Lo, D'Lo is the one that recorded. What was it? D'Lo recorded Swaggy P talking about cheating on Iggy Azalea.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know if
that,
you
that was
remember that one.
that was some crazy stuff, man. You cannot be out here. I mean, if you want to be a white knight, not against your your team member, bro. Come on. Did he want to hook up with her, move him out of the way, and that's why he set him up? I have no idea. But this is what Paul Priest had to say.
That's how rumors get started, bro.
Let's put it out there. Allegedly, let's put it out.
Let's
I
not.
mean, this is how people start. Yeah, you might be right. This is how rumors start. I don't have any source, so it's all
Yeah,
allegedly.
I wasn't. I didn't understand why you were. Why did you didn't get that, man? Backpedal, man.
I'm backpedaling. I'm trying.
All right, all right.
The
Let's
current is
continue.
too strong. The current is too
Yeah,
Hey, but this is what Paul Priest had to say. It would it would be me, Kevin, and Paul Priest reviews Ray Allen wasn't the real third member of the Boston Celtics big three. Allegedly, so at least that's according to basketballnetwork.net. He basically said it was a weird relationship. We were all good friends on the court, but Ray always did his own thing. That's just the way Ray was. Even when we were playing together, we would be having a team dinner and Ray wouldn't show up. He would go to his charity events, but Ray wouldn't show up to somebody else's. So big three on the court, but off the court,
yeah. It's
F
on the
them,
court. It's
F
on the
them dudes.
court that matters. That's
Ray
what
was
they
like,
call the
F these
that.
Corey dudes.
That's what they call the Russell
What?
the Russell method.
Oh, now you're starting something else. Are you saying Ray Allen is Russell without simp and being I cannot use that word by the way, and uh, 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 a
A
booty
Tinok, a Tinok, a Tinok.
Tina.
I reversed it. I reversed it.
Guys, write it down, Tinak, with a C at the end.
No, I don't know, man. I
Hey, but
think, but yeah. So, but to get back to it, let me see the team that the the Bucks have right now. It's a very strong team, actually. So I think they were contenders already. They will remain contenders now. Um, so we need to see how the team will perform. But I think everyone expects championship, and yeah, there's
they have,
no.
man, they have the Greek freak or the bell ringer. If you know what I mean, the red bell.
No, I don't know what you mean. The red bell.
He,
No.
a while ago, one of his girl bought like this. Uh,
Oh yeah.
oh, the bell. That's what it's, the bell ringer.
Yeah,
Guys, if you don't know, look it up.
yeah.
Gianni Bell.
Well, they have Chris Middleton, who's also a solid player. Bobby Portis, who is a a versatile player. I always like Bobby Portis. He's a versatile player, and they have the Lopez brothers. Unfortunately, if they want to win, then I think that's what Shannon Sharp said. Shannon Sharp said when he was complaining about making changes. Shannon Sharp said something to the extent of, "Well, you have to start trading your brothers from the Bucks because they're holding roster spots, and good and well, they wouldn't
Does he
have
have
any
brothers?
NBA
Does
that
he
they
have
wouldn't."
brothers player?
Yeah, well, yeah, both of them were until last season. So I
Okay.
think one of them for sure. You have Thanasis, I think, Antetokounmpo is how you spell his name, and the other one, I'm not sure if he's still there.
What's his nickname? The Greek disappointment?
I don't know, man. Uh,
The Greek. Hey, that's a great headline. The Greek freak trades Greek disappointment.
yeah.
Anyway,
It also bears mentioning that the Bucks also went and got Cameron Payne who's a good, solid backup point guard as well. So I think it has to be, if you ask me, if the Bucks don't make it to the finals this year, it's a failure.
Let's see what else they have to. What are the moves they might make? They're trading the brothers, the Greek brothers of the Greek freak, to the Greek next level, the second level. I mean, we'll see. I hope they get it done because I like Giannis and I like Damian. So
Yeah, me too.
at the end of the day, since we're talking about leaving things behind, another player that left people behind was Trevor Bauer. He left America a while ago after being banned. He went to Japan. The MLB banned him on a accusation.
It's
Everyone, he
crazy.
was about to sign a $250 million deal, and then he got an accusation of, let's say, um,
Should I say the word?
punching up.
No,
He
he was
He was
punching.
he
Yeah,
was punching someone up while rearranging the guts, basically.
yeah. Well, basically, his then girlfriend and him had a
Is
they
is
had an
girlfriend of the day. Let's be clear about that. I think
okay, yeah, the girlfriend of the day
as
had
as,
a or of the night.
as someone of the big three would say,
Yeah, they had a relationship. Let's say an alternative,
consensual relationship.
alternative consensual rough relationship, but they both agree to it, and they talked about this at the start. I don't know the exact details when they talked about it, but it was consensual. But he got so yeah yeah we is it definitive what happened now, KR, or because I
Let's
read.
take a look. Let's take a look at the video that was dropped by Bauer last week, because that will tell you everything about the situation. He
Okay,
will update us of what happened the last 2 years, and then um, yeah, let's take a look. Fair use, by the way, guys. Fair use. Don't try to move weirdly on this one. Fair use. Again, let's take a look.
Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsey Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. What should I steal? She asked another, in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money.
Can you
So
hear
how
it?
might that work? I'm
yeah.
going to his house Wednesday, she said. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll. Then, after the first time we met, net worth is 51 mil, she said. Bitch, you better secure the bag, was the response. But how
Let's start with that. Of course, I need to pause it. I need to pause it, RG, because I mean we have to use it fair use, of course. The first part already.
He was targeted.
It seems. I mean, she said 51 million. What should I steal? So it started with stealing.
Yeah, he was targeted as well. So that's
That's a start.
that's that's scary in itself, right? That someone will say will target you because you're successful to take money from you. And as you said, they started talking about stealing, and stealing is it's bad, but it's not as bad as what would come next.
She said, if I read the text, I'm going to his house Wednesday. I think she one thing I think we've talked about this also in a previous show, right? Where we said don't send text, guys. Don't send. People take pictures of everything, screenshots. Are you on mute? Or I cannot
Yeah,
hear.
yeah, my bad. Uh, I would. It's not. Don't send text. You need to, especially if you are and this is the lawyer in me talking, of course. But if you are going to, especially if you're a high profile person, you need to be aware what you put on paper and what you text, because if you don't, someone might use the text against you, creating a different context as well. So it's, you need to be very careful what you put. That's so this is, of course, assuming that you're acting out of good faith.
Mm.
So yeah, especially if you are a bachelor, you have various female companions, they're there for you, not because they love you. They're there because they love what you have and what you can give. You need to be
Or what they can take.
or what they can take. Yeah. So
What
but yeah,
But
continue.
this is the text, right? I'm going to his house on Wednesday. Or already have my hooks in. You you know how I roll. And if you look the screenshots he sent to her friend, tryouts don't scare me, Bauer. Bring it. He answers, I'm willing and able whenever you're ready. She answers, pick a day and I'm there. No problem. Driving to LA, huh? He answers. She said, oh, I'm a pro at that drive. Love me some LA. Then he continues, well, tryouts as soon as we get back home on Tuesday. Mm.
Yeah.
And let's see what the tryouts will be.
In. You know how I roll. Then, after the first time we met, net worth is 51 mil, she said. Bitch, you better secure the bag, was the response. But how is she going to do that? Need daddy to choke me out, she said. Being an absolute whore to try to get in on his 51 million, read another text. Then, after the second time we met, former Padres pitcher Jacob Nix told her, you got to get this bag. I'll give you 50,000, Lindsay replied. Her AA sponsor asked her at one point, do you feel a tiny bit guilty? Not really, she replied. Since then, her legal team has approached me multiple times about coming to a financial settlement. But as I have done since day one, I refuse to pay her even a single cent. In August of 2021, Lindsay Hill's claims were heard in court. And during those legal proceedings, critical information was deliberately and unlawfully concealed from me and my legal team. Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsay Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021.
Stop.
Without my knowledge or consent.
Stop it, man.
Wow.
So here, you're dealing with a nutcase. Come on, man.
Yo, hey, yo. Look at her face, though. Look at it. She blamed it on bad lighting.
Oh, that's, well, she should have. Check who her lawyer is, because might be Amber Heard's lawyer, because she was claiming the same thing, right? Metadata and but to be there to and that's why you need to move very smart, especially if you have a lot to lose,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
because
man.
you're sleeping next to someone, you don't know the intention of that person. The person is recording you while you are sleeping. Who knows
After a
what she
good
might
night.
have done that she didn't record?
Again?
Who knows what she might have done and didn't record?
Yeah.
That's a crazy person. You don't know the person. You don't know the person. It's just like your first interaction, but that person has malintent against you. So can you imagine that, KR? Let's say I've never met you. This is the first encounter, and I'm already thinking to myself, how am I going to scam you?
That's why Raven Symone was putting NDAs out there.
Yeah.
Sign
Yeah.
this right here.
Before
Everything
what?
you do is consensual
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure you know the safe word, and the safe word is not banana in the tailpipe.
It's
I thought you froze for a second.
I didn't. Well, I did freeze, but
Anyway,
just something something that if you think that this person went to, I don't know how, let me put it like this. I don't know what the best way is to deal with a situation like this. Because the question then becomes, can how can you trust? No. Is that a question?
what is the
Sh-
say it?
should you, how can you trust? So I want to say, how can you trust women? But it's not how can you trust women, actually. It's
How can you trust your partner or
but
who
it's
you're
but that's the thing, right?
about
It's
to
not a
engage with?
partner. But that's the thing,
We
right? It's
are
not a
engaging
partner.
with. We are engaging with because I mean, I'm pretty sure they are just like, I mean, predators all come in all sizes and all genders.
I think that we need to I
Frail
think
bodied.
that when you are in a certain level, you might need to
Well, you have to move. I think
maybe you should just have girlfriends. You should do it.
nah,
I think the best way
you
to
ain't
do it
gonna
is
do it.
Leo style. Leo DiCaprio.
I'm pretty sure Rio also has an NDA. The
Of,
way he's moving,
of course, but I mean not one-time things.
but this guy does,
Date someone for a period, you know?
and he
Then
doesn't. The difference is, I don't know this girl. Leo doesn't date nobodies. But that's also a different kind of situation, right? Leo is a, I think he has like 30, no, not 30, 400, 500 million or something like that, 600. So this it's different levels for everyone, right? But
yeah.
Leo doesn't date nobodies. He usually is around supermodels or upcoming models or models that definitely not gonna make it, but they're hot enough for him.
Yeah.
Um, and he doesn't hang out with people that have nothing to lose. I've never seen him actually. Maybe he does, but we'll never see the photographs of those. But he has an NDA.
Yeah. I think the NDA is important, but in this case, the he's being accused of something criminal, right? And if you're
If,
being
if
accused
you
of
if you if you
if you're being accused of something criminal, then that's different.
but she was what do you mean by that? Because she was
Because she
basically,
was claiming, because we heard the audio and we're not gonna play the audio here.
well, we're not gonna play it, but I'm gonna show where you can find it. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. Of course, but we the audio, she was basically entrapping him. She
Yeah,
was basically asking questions.
but she was being so she went to the police. So let me share the should should I end this part of his video because there's still like
Let's finish the video first and then.
okay.
In it, you can see her lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world, or any marks on her face. I think it paints a pretty clear picture of what actually happened the evening of May 15th and why the video was
She says she was punched blue and black, but doesn't seem like that.
originally concealed from us. Yeah. After hearing the evidence available to her, Judge Diana Gold Saltman found that Lindsay Hill had misled the court. She found her claims to be materially misleading. She denied her request for a domestic violence restraining order, and she found that no sexual assault or non-consensual conduct took place. Now, some of you might not know about restraining order hearings. I know I didn't, but I've since learned that it's extremely rare for a request for a restraining order to be denied because the standard of proof that you need to obtain one is extremely low. So You can make of that what you will. The fact is, I was never arrested. I was never charged with a crime, and I won the only legal proceeding that took place without my side of the story even being heard. And most importantly, as I've said from day one, I never sexually assaulted Lindsay Hill or
Hey,
anyone
yo,
else
dude, start using that word, man. You're trying to get us demonetized?
That's okay.
This
That's
is
fine.
crazy, man.
for that matter. So I sued her, which prompted her to countersue me. Quite frankly, regardless of the outcome in court, I've paid significantly more in legal fees than Lindsay Hill could ever pay me in her entire life.
Not only that, he lost a big contract because of this.
Yeah.
So he's not paying. He's not only paying to save his career. He lost future earnings.
But I think that he lost future earnings, but I don't think he can sue the NFL either or the MLB either.
No, he can't. Probably he
Because
can.
probably there's a clause
Yeah.
stating that it's possible. So yeah, it's
Maybe,
damages are
but you don't want to do the Kaepernick either, right? He wants to go back. Maybe you know what? Maybe because he doesn't sue, they will give him like an whoever signs him, because allegedly, but from what I understand, his contract in Japan is up after this season. So since this is clear now, maybe the MLB will also intervene where he signs and tells the owner, you know what, give the guy an extra 50,
yeah.
as a courtesy from the mafia,
Under the
to
table.
shut up, to shut up.
Charity.
That's a
Charity.
charity. We love you, Bauer. Welcome back. Here's
Yeah,
another
yeah,
50 for,
yeah, yeah.
for whatever harm we did to you.
Yeah. I think that we'll see. It's a shame,
It's a shame, man.
and as we always say, because we've discussed topics like this as well in the past, this the thing that Trevor Bauer is being accused of is a very serious thing, and there are in life serious victims of those types of incidents. And for someone to play around with it, you take away from real victims, because in the future, when someone says something happened to me, if enough of these stories are come to light, then people will stop believing, and I don't think that's the type of society we want either. So we don't want people to get unjustly punished, but we want people who are guilty of acts like that to get punished. And if you keep playing with it like this, then yeah.
At the end, like I said, it really hurts the real victims, because right now people are asking themselves with each and every. I mean, after the whole movement that came out, like Believe All Women, etc. It's like I think Bill Burr said it like in one of his stand-up
Special.
comedy specials, right? Said it's overcorrection, and the problem is now is that back in the days you would, if someone would be accused, they would probably say, "Oh, that she's probably telling the truth," because of skepticism already in baked in the system. But since there is no skepticism now,
Yeah.
everyone is doing nilly-willy accusations, and that results in stuff like this. And if the justice system doesn't intervene to prevent this from happening by stopping these accusers that are obviously fake, because I mean there are some gray areas, right? But this is obviously fake.
Yeah.
Then you have to stop these, because these are gonna harm the future real victims. I mean, come on, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The way we've listened to that audio, by the way, and
Maybe you can share where the audio is, where
of
you
course
found the
I
audio.
could share it. Let me exit this one. The audio was shared on Megan Conniff's YouTube page. Let me zoom in a little bit right here, guys. This is where you have to go. Megan Conniff, ex MLB Dodgers pitchers, Trevor Bauer, Bauer's 27-minute phone call with his accuser in May 2021. If you search that up in YouTube, you will find it.
Yeah, it's basically
Listen
the
to this, dude. It was recorded with the police listening, right?
yeah,
So she was
and maybe not only listening but also instructing.
instructing. You can clearly hear at a certain point. You can clearly hear. You know how stupid people are. If Bauer can really has a sharp ear, at a certain point you can hear someone say, when people are whispering to you, you could clearly hear.
Yeah,
So they were probably instructing her, and she was trying to set him up. And one thing that's obvious in that call is it seems like Trevor is totally blown away by the things she said.
yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
It was weird. It seemed like he was really concerned. No, it seemed like, no, not concerned for, not for him, for himself, for
For her,
the
you
for
mean?
her. Yeah, it seemed like
Yeah,
he was concerned. Like, I didn't know. But the girl, hey guys, you need to check out that audio because it's wild.
yeah.
It's wild.
It's wild. And one thing that's clear is that if he was really listening, you could clearly see that the 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 way the phone call was going. um i- there's no way there's no way I'm not he wasn't being recorded, because the way she was asking questions at a certain point, Trevor, I think Trevor is smart enough to realize that these questions seem like they are very leading. They are very leading. And
It's entrapment, man. He was trying to set him up.
dude, every time I think of Entrapped Him, I think about Robert, man. This song. I don't know why. But yeah, it's entrapment.
He was
Yeah,
trying
it
to
was.
entrap me.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I didn't notice.
well, you should have noticed.
She was asking what questions?
But it's crazy. It's crazy. And at the end, it seems like, and I'm going back to the end of the video he released, because there's still 1 minute left. Gonna play that last minute, and then maybe conclude this subject. But this is what else he has to say about it.
And I knew that would be the case going in. But the lawsuit was never about the money for me. It was the only way for me to obtain critical information to clear my name. The discovery process in that lawsuit recently concluded, at which point Lindsay Hill's legal team again came to us with another proposal to resolve the case. This time, however, they weren't seeking any money from me. Having received much of the information that had been hidden from us, a small portion of which I've referenced here, I was willing to agree to the terms proposed. Both parties would drop their respective lawsuits, and neither of us would pay either side any money. I also retained my right to speak publicly about the case, something I have not been at liberty to do since June of 2021. So, as of today, both lawsuits have been settled. Now, over the last 2 years, I've been forced to defend my integrity and my reputation in a very public setting. But hopefully this is the last time I have to do so, as I'd prefer to just remain focused on doing my job, winning baseball games and entertaining fans around the world. So today, I'm happy to be moving on with my life.
Happy for him. Yeah, yeah.
He should have ended the video like this.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's crazy. Even because he released this on X, right?
Mm-hmm.
And X is not the
Former
X,
Twitter.
former Twitter, yes, because it's things. I still think the rebranding is kind of weird.
I
Saying,
think it's whack, to be honest.
but he released it, and then ex CEO owner inquired some things. Let me share my screen. Basically, Elon asked him, Were her lawyers aware that she withheld evidence? And he replies with, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more.
Mhm.
This makes it a bit readable. He said, it appears her lawyers had the evidence the entire time, speaking specifically about the video of her laying in bed next to me with no marks on her face the morning after she claims I attacked her. An email containing that video was sent to her attorney Brian Friedman before the DVRO hearing in 2021, and it was never turned over to us. Perhaps that's why he insisted not on adding his name to the release parties section in the settlement agreement.
Well,
There was also a 12-day span of text between Lindsay and two of her closest friends immediately following the incident that were deleted. We asked for them in discovery for the DVRO. They weren't turned over. We also argued that they must be turned over in the DVRO proceeding. They were not. Lindsay Hill's other law firm, Meyer Olson Lowley and Meyer Olson LLP, who co-represented her, let me see, go down, who co-represented her through that court process, had them the whole time.
that's
Bad, man. Set that boy up.
yeah, that's
Set
but
that boy up.
that's to me that's unethical. That's very unethical.
It is.
And to continue, so I mean, I understand that every lawyer is different, but as a lawyer, if I'm sometimes as a lawyer, your client doesn't tell you everything. Your client tells you what he or she wants to tell you, so you can believe her or him, and go fight, right? But if I know the facts of the matter, then I won't. I'm not going to lie, because you know what the thing is, KR.
Um,
Don't know what the lady's name is, but I don't want to know. Don't look it up. I'm not.
I
I,
had it at my fingertips.
I saw you try to go, and I'm not interested in that. So I'm just saying this. So this is my point.
What's her name? Her name is Bomb.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is this: she, the lawyers are very stupid, very dumb, in my opinion, because the lady is just a lady. It's the client. It's a party. The courts see thousands of parties every year, hundreds or thousands. But there are way fewer lawyers. So the lawyers, or the district in which that lawyer or that firm is practicing, now have a stain on their reputation,
Mm. They're
which
willing to
should
do
which shouldn't which shouldn't which shouldn't affect future cases, but
Mm.
it might, because
Mm.
lawyers are still people, or at least
Mm.
judges are still people. They're talking about AI judges in the future, but until then, judges are still people. And if I know that someone is willing to lie, you never know what effect that can have for future clients that seek out that law firm to assist them in legal matters. So, very stupid, in my
I
opinion.
guess I guess that's what you get when you put money in front of integrity. They thought they had a clear, or at least a good chance to clear the the settlement.
Yeah.
With being said, they thought. I mean, we've all you've. I think we've heard about these cases in the past where people basically start cases, lawsuits to get some money out of companies. I mean, there was this. Do you remember? As I showed you the article of the lawyer who tried a similar move with Nike?
No, I don't recall.
Ah,
What was
sure.
it? What was it about?
There was a lawyer who tried to extort Nike.
No, I'm not aware of that. But it's
It's Michael Avenatti was sentenced to 2.5 years in Nike extortion case.
yeah.
Let me share my screen real quick.
There's something else I want to say after you show this that can really show the desperation
So
because there's something.
this is the case. He tried to extort more than 20 million from Nike, but he got sentenced for 2.5 years in this case. I
Yeah.
can recall how he tried to do it. It was a crazy. The way he tried to do it, I don't know. Sometimes they say lawyers are smart, but the way he tried to do it, it was like, dude, what the heck are you doing? I don't know, man. It's some lawyers. I think the thing is, some lawyers, some people, not lawyers, some people always try to use the tools they have at hand to get money quick.
Yeah.
But the problem with getting money quick is always that there is always a risk, which is that the that can fire back. It can fire back.
I think another thing here, something that can really show the desperation on the other party side.
Tell me.
What is one of the core? Let's see if you know this. You're not a lawyer, but
Far
you
from
do.
it. I'm
You,
ethical. Uh,
yeah, but what is so in a let's see if you can get this.
Tell me.
And for those listening as well, let's see if they can get it as well. What?
By the way, that previous, it's all a joke, guys. It's all a joke. Just to make sure that I don't get sued by some random weirdo. It was a joke.
Yeah.
He
So
is a lawyer. He's
yeah.
a lawyer.
So a settlement agreement has various clauses, right?
Mm.
In this case, there was something. The very peculiar thing about this case is what the parties agreed to. That shows clearly shows that the lady and her attorneys were desperate,
Desperate as in to save their
desperate to
to
settle.
settle.
What, what, what clause is essential in a settlement agreement?
I'm not a lawyer, but I would guess probably not speaking publicly about this ever again.
A
I would think,
non-disclosure agreement. A
yeah.
non-disclosure. So
And
can you imagine how?
wait a second, and also think where they were desperate is there was also a release for the lawyer who was with her. The guy said, "I don't want to get dragged into this into the near future."
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the NDA.
can you the NDA exactly non-disclosure agreement? So not only did they settle for nothing, but they also settled to they also agreed that Trevor Bauer can speak publicly about the matter.
I'm curious whether she can speak about it.
That's because the what is yeah. So that's not relevant in my opinion. What is relevant is, as you mentioned, the only reason why they agreed to that because they had one. So to them, one clause they wanted to be uh, held non-liable for the mistakes they made, mistakes that they made in the trial by withholding evidence. So that shows you that they knew the extent of their mistakes.
That's crazy.
And what I wonder is the following: you have a committee, a committee that oversees it's a disciplinary committee,
Mm.
right? That can
Debar is that the word? Debar you,
they
unbar,
can
or remove you off the bar.
you move you from the bar. Yeah, there's
Debar.
strike you or something. Anyway, the
Pause.
point is this: strike you consensually.
I'm yeah. Maybe he should be striked. Yes. Yeah,
but but remove him from the bar, but he can be suspended or anything of that nature. But my thing is, maybe apologies, Trevor can't file a case against them. But I'm wondering if the committee has the information, I would think that they can act on their own. So
they're putting a shame to all the lawyers, man.
yeah,
It's just like the guy that tried to extort. What's his name again? Michael Avenatti. You're putting you're putting us in a bad light. We already have a bad reputation. Let's be honest. You're on mute.
you didn't make it better with the comment you made
Well,
about you not being a lawyer because you're ethical. But okay,
what you find? He's trying to set me up for a lawsuit.
come on.
Hey, I'm just man. But anyway, we are already we are not people are already skeptical about lawyers in general. Well, when you say you're a lawyer, people think you're a shady dude. Not always, but some people might think that because they have been set up by a lawyer in the past or they have lost a case when they thought they had a case, and now this happens. I mean, come on, man. They should make a move on this dude, man.
Yeah,
Get him, remove him off the bar, something like that. I don't know.
yeah,
I mean,
uh,
you're withholding information that's key to the case
yeah,
just to win the case, and then when it all's revealed, you're trying to put yourself in the release. This
yeah.
is crazy, man. What?
Anyways, I'm happy for Trevor.
Yeah.
What?
I'm also yeah. No. Continue.
I'm happy for Trevor that he cleared his name and hopefully he can get back to the MLB and to finish his career there without any
My
problem.
son, welcome back to the league. I got a gift for you right here. It's a Rolls Royce. And of course, some pocket change for you. As long as you keep your mouth shut and don't be like Kaepernick. Welcome, my lost boy. Welcome. With that being said, let's talk about the crazy last topic. New England Patriots. Well, we also have maybe a topic if we have some time left. NFL. New England Patriots, man. Ain't going that good these days.
No, man. The Patriots are, well, when Brady left, it seemed like the
They lost an anchor. That's for sure.
yeah, but it seemed like everyone expected them to not perform as well, but they weren't bad. It's not that like they won two games that season. So they were, let's say,
What average?
average. Yeah.
Yes. They
But
are still
you
average.
would think but yeah, that's the point, right? So you would think that they were average, and it would take Bill Belichick, a couple of years to get back to where they were, because there was the whole debate of who was better. Was it Bill or Tom? Was Bill more responsible for the Patriots' success, or Tom Brady, et cetera, et cetera? And so a lot of people were betting on Bill because of his system mindset. And yeah,
So, guys. Before I continue talking to you guys, you know I'm a Pats fan, so I know the team isn't quite good. To answer your to respond on your remark, so they have been average since Brady left, which tells you that Bill is a good coach because he has average players. Look at, for example, other coaches with average players. I'll give you an example: Riverboat Ron at Commanders and Panthers. They lose. They all lose. I mean, Riverboat Ron Rivera, has been losing for years now. I don't know how he's still an NFL coach. He's been losing for years. But Bill has, so I do believe a good coach can bring a average team, average players to like a 50-50 or close to 50-50 game streak. So game stats. That's what he's doing now. And a great quarterback will elevate that and make it a great team. So I still believe that it's still a joint venture. But one thing that Bill always says, and people always have their way of twisting this up. Bill has always said, I can only do this with great players. It's not me doing it. I'm just setting it up. They have to perform. And I've had great players in the past. Without great players, you cannot perform.
yeah,
And Mac, my biggest problem with Mac, and I'm referring to the Cowboys game, right? The way this guy is playing, at some point you gotta ask yourself, is he a really good quarterback? The guy has a noodle arm to start with. And then with that noodle arm, you're trying to throw the ball cross field twice. The first time you got away with it. The second time, that defender was waiting for you to do some stupid shit.
yeah.
And so I think one thing people always try to do the who was responsible. I still think it's a duo, because when it all started, people
But KR, didn't Bill want Brady out? Because the story is that Bill wanted to show that he can win without Brady.
no, I mean that's the narrative. So the thing
But
with
that's a
Bill,
narrative. That's a narrative that's being
yeah, that's another
discussed like a fact.
crafted.
It's being discussed like
This is
as a fact
this is the thing.
on ESPN First Take, on Undisputed. They do not talk about it like it's a rumor. They talk about it like it's a fact, and it's a well-known. This is a fact as well. Not as well. This is a fact. What I'm about to say.
Tell
A
me.
fact is that Bill, and I don't think you will disagree. Bill is known to let people go before they fall off. So it's not a
Yeah.
secret that he didn't want Tom Brady there. And that's also that I think if it was any other position, let's say if it was the defense that was struggling, but the offense was good, Bill wouldn't be catching the amount of backlash that he's catching right now, because it's the quarterback position that's the problem.
The defense is good.
The
It's
defense
the
is
defense is
solid.
good enough. It's
Yeah.
good enough to win games. But if you're giving out, and I'm gonna say this first, and I'm gonna respond to what you said. If you're giving up 14 points to the opponent, you're already losing. This is the NFL. This isn't the thing with Mac is in college he had great receivers. that build him out a lot of times. And now he
Yeah.
doesn't. He cannot elevate players. Like I'll
Well,
give you an example.
well, I
I
do.
look
Yeah.
look at Texans.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud right now.
Mhm.
Bomb O line, bomb receivers. They are winning games. So you cannot tell me that because he's a. I mean, it's his third year.
Yeah, but remember what Bill did to Brady as well.
Yes, but let me answer
Bill
that.
wasn't giving Brady the receivers.
Because he was spreading the money around. He was keeping the team together. With the thing with receivers is now it's more a receiver and a quarterback league.
Yeah.
But back then you could manage the team, and what he would do is he would buy a lot of, or he would pay a lot of good players to stay with the team.
Yeah.
He was spreading the team. You cannot if you're spending too much on one player, it deep balance out, you will lose. What you see, I'll give you an example of a team where it went wrong. Seattle Seahawks. They started paying Russ. As soon as they started paying Russ, the team went totally backwards. It was already done when they lost by throwing that ball in the finals. And then after it totally went south when they started paying Russ big money because they
But
had to cut off other players.
yeah,
But let me go back. Let me go back to
Yeah.
what you said. He want. This is the thing. I believe. Okay, maybe he wanted him gone. You know why?
he was falling off.
No, he wasn't falling off. He had a great quarterback to following up, so he was on schedule.
So are you referring to the Garoppolo right now?
Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Jimmy G was at the Pats right back then.
Back then, yeah.
He had a great look at Jimmy G's record. Jimmy G, when he's not injured, he goes to the playoffs.
How often is he injured?
That's the biggest problem, right?
So,
But
so-
when he's not injured, so he had a good. So he saw already. Okay, if
Yeah.
I release Brady now, I can still keep on the pace because I
Yeah.
have a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But what did happened is so they didn't release Brady. He had to stay with Brady. Had to release what's the guy, Jimmy G, or not release him, trade him to the 49ers.
yeah.
And what you get is then the whole setup is broken. And when Brady leaves, you're then left with no backup. No
Okay.
one.
So you're saying to me, you're telling me that the reason, let's see if I understand it correctly, the reason why they are struggling is because Robert Kraft, the owner of the NFL, didn't let Bill Belichick um, use the word get rid of Tom Brady when he wanted to, when he had someone to follow up.
Yes.
And so when eventually it became time for Tom Brady to leave, there was no one there.
It wasn't because Tom. So the thing is this, and Tom had I think 2 years left on his contract, or 3 years left back on his contract back then. So you know that at the point Tom will say, you know what, either I retire or I go to another team, possibly.
Yeah. So you know it's the end already, is your point.
You know, the end will come at a certain point, right?
Yeah.
What you want to do is you want to end it on your terms.
Yeah, continuity.
When you
Yeah.
when you have someone already in place.
Yeah.
Now he didn't had no one. It shows you clearly they didn't have no one.
But with regards to by the way, speaking of receivers, is it correct that Chase Claypool also went to the Dolphins now?
Mm-hmm. He got traded.
That's crazy.
They're gonna bench him like crazy.
Of course, you're gonna bench him, but it's still a good player to have on. Well, he didn't play
bench.
good. He didn't play that good, I think, this
didn't
season. But
play
anyway,
He didn't play that good.
he was playing good with the Steelers, I think. But
No, otherwise they wouldn't have traded him.
wasn't he playing good? Or the Corvette? Anyway, what I think.
Corvette is these days at Pats, so watch your mouth.
No, Corvette is at Pats. They
I
were
said,
all corvetting.
Smith
Juju,
Schuster.
Juju, yeah, but they were all corvetting. The
Yeah, they
Steelers
were
were
all
corvetting
corvetting
until the Browns beat them in the
in their Corvette and left them blue and black.
yeah. But to get back to what you're saying about the Pats, I understand what you're saying, and there's something to be said about that as well.
The-
But it's not like Tom Brady. If I'm not mistaken, Tom Brady wasn't taking the maximum. He wasn't like
no,
the Russell Wilson, so he was okay with that. I think
yeah.
I think Tom Brady would have been okay if I I don't know. I
but
think Tom Brady would have been okay with spreading the money around. He was okay with
he
that.
was okay with it. But the thing is,
But the receivers, a part of the continuity is also the receivers, and one of the so it's not only the quarterback that's the continu that can take care of continuity, but it's the other players as well. So Tom Brady was saying that he didn't have enough good targets, and if Bill had take care of, let's say, two good targets,
but
then
they were in a hole already because they sold out.
how so?
They had so much cap hit. So the year he
Was
left,
but what were due to defensive players or something?
they I don't know. I can't recall. I have to research that. What I do know is back. I don't know which part of the team had too much cap hit, but they sold out a couple of years earlier. So they had so much cap hit that they had to work with whatever they had, and it was they were basically paying back on their bets because the cap hit was getting higher. Right now they're like you see right now they're getting out of the hole, and they also spending more and more. But when Brady decided to leave, it wasn't, and I understand why Brady didn't resign because he knew that the team was in a hole cap wise, but so he couldn't win anything. I'm not saying that it was a bad choice by Robert Kraft, by the way, to not release Brady because we won a Super Bowl after that. Still, but you have to also deal with the choices you make.
Yeah.
and
Well,
and and
it
it
takes
it
a
shows you. Let me tell you this: it shows you that the choice they made was to bet on Brady to win another Super Bowl, and just let's throw it out there. Let's see what happens. Kind of idea, kind of strategy. Let's see what happens. If we win, okay, and then what happens after that? Let's see, because we didn't have anyone. Who did we sign after Brady left? Cam.
five
Cam
million.
held the team down. We went 50-50 almost.
Cam was, I
We went
think,
50.
if Cam didn't go down, not even go down,
Cam
it
was just a bit more accurate because they had something.
KR, if you remember correctly, Cam started playing during the uncle,
The uncle.
the uncle
When
Vic.
something happened that no one wants to talk about.
Exactly. So in
Uncle
20,
Vic.
yeah, so that's when it all started. And he went down, and when he came back, he was playing differently because before
Yeah.
that he was playing good.
He was playing good. We had a
He was
team. The
playing
thing
very
is,
good.
we had a couple of games where it
Yeah.
was 50-50.
But
It
what I
was
want to
on our
so what
side.
I want to say is, if you're gonna have average, so you need star players and role players. Let's take the Browns when Baker Mayfield used to play there, for example. Baker Mayfield is an average quarterback, but he was playing with studs, with elite players.
Mhm.
So you need elite players. You need elite players somewhere to help the average players.
Mhm.
So maybe you have an average quarterback, but if you have an average quarterback and you have an elite receiver or elite receivers, then they can go get balls that other receivers can't. So the quarterback doesn't need to be that accurate. But if you
But you
have,
have to be accurate.
well, of course. So I mean, I'm talking about
Look at
it's a game
field.
of inches. I'm talking about inches. I'm not talking about yards. Like I'm talking about inches. So so that so but if you don't have an elite player or elite players somewhere in each um what do you call them? The
Position,
secondary, the primary, secondary. If you don't have like
each level.
each level, yeah. If you don't have star players there, if you have only average players, then you have a problem. So what the benefit of Tom Brady was that he was a elite player. Now you
Yeah.
said that he wasn't falling off, but I recall at the end, let's say the last season, he was throwing some balls way off target. So I don't know if
That looked very weird. I'll be honest. Yeah, that looked
he
very
was
weird.
falling off, but still he could win in Buccaneers because he
Because
had
he was
great
elite.
receivers.
Yes. Yes.
So that's where you see you need to have the elite players and the average players, and then they can balance itself out. But
It's
if you
always
only have average players, it's going to become more difficult. So if you have an average quarterback and you have average receivers, then you in the NFL where you have elite players,
you're gonna be
then
50-50.
you're going to be a 50
And
50
you
Yeah.
gotta ask yourself, and this
Which
is
which
what I think.
begs the question, if average players brings you to 50-50, what type of players do the Broncos have? Because
They are done. I'll tell you that much. They paid Russ, and Russ ain't playing. Russ is cooking basura these days.
yeah, yeah.
But this is, I think this is what Pats are dealing with right now. Is the question: should we pay? Should we get an elite player when we know this guy cannot perform without elite players? Or do we just hang it out, then we find a new quarterback that can elevate people? So
Yeah.
there are quarterbacks out there,
I
RJ.
think that
Look at
I
49ers, Brock Purdy.
Purdy, yeah, Purdy
He
is
was
balling.
Mr. Irrelevant,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
last in the draft.
yeah, yeah.
And look what he's doing.
But is Jimmy still there?
Jimmy is at the Raiders these days.
He's at Raiders. Okay, okay. Yeah,
He's
but Purdy is playing like a superstar.
the
Yeah.
thing. I'm not saying Jimmy was the best. I think
Maybe Jimmy was good enough,
Jimmy was good enough because if you look at
but he's not a pocket player, right? Or is he a
he's a
pocket
pocket passer,
passer?
he's a
Yeah.
pocket
Okay.
passer. If you look at Jimmy and his stint at 49ers, every time he was there, they could reach the playoffs. That's a fact. The Jimmy was elevating the plays, but the plays were also elevating Jimmy.
Okay.
So but right now, it ain't looking that good. But I don't know if it's Jimmy. I haven't watched a lot of Raiders games. Maybe I should watch a Raiders games this weekend, upcoming weekend. But I think if we had dropped Brady again, it's always it's a big hypothetical, right? If we had dropped Brady, I think we had a better chance to continue a good streak. Right now, we're dependent on a guy with a noodle arm that puts the team in jeopardy. With the throws he makes, doesn't make any sense. You're a third-year NFL quarterback right now. At this point, you shouldn't be making these kind of mistakes. This guy is running. Yo, I don't feel disgusted watching Pat's games a lot of times, but the way he was playing against Cowboys, dude, I felt disgusted.
Yeah.
The way he's running with the ball, and the guy came after and slapped the ball out of his hands. I'm like, get the heck out of here. You know,
Yeah, the Cowboys have a good team this
they
year.
have
They
a good
always say it,
team.
but this year they have a very good team. I didn't think that the Patriots would win easily. So if they would win, it would be a very uh,
Close. We
close
always
game. Yeah.
close. We close
So,
down the
but I
deep.
know that they were the underdog in this case because
We
usually,
were, yeah,
yeah,
Pat's word on the dogs.
yeah. So yeah. But I think the whole discussion of who's better, or that's of course that's not relevant, but that's just like the media. But this is just what I'll say, and then I'm done from my end. Every decision you make It has consequences, and that also counts for Robert Kraft. I know Robert Kraft really loved Tom Brady, still loves him, and Robert Kraft.
I love
What
Brady.
if Robert Kraft could do it all
Oh,
over again, he would do it all over again. I
yes,
know
because
it.
they won. They won
You
the
know it.
Super
Yeah,
Bowl
I
after.
know it. Yeah, yeah. So they would have. So yeah, it is. It is what it is. But let's see. I think that Mac is not your quarterback.
No, no.
Mac.
I
Mac.
mean, if we can trade him, if we, I know Bill will not do it, but we need to tank.
Yeah.
Bill will not do it. He won't. But we need to tank.
Yeah.
Bill has too much ego to tank. But we need to tank to win in the future.
Yeah.
Because this guy is, he's not it, man. I'm telling you, I gave him a chance. The thing is, a lot of people don't look at this. And then I'm going to close it and I'm going to say something about Purdy. No,
Yeah. Real short, man. Because
it's getting long right now.
it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mac, Mac is in his third year. And right now, the second year we blamed it on Matt Patricia. He was a defensive coach who was put in place of the offense. It didn't look good. But if you look at the numbers, overall numbers, it seems like we were doing better last year than this year. We see more explosive this year. That is true. Much more deep throws, etc. Well, we were winning games last year. Right now, they've put up an offensive coach that created a system that might fit Mac better, and he's performing worse.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. He's not our guy, man. But
Yeah.
move on from this guy, man.
Yeah.
One last thing about Brock Purdy. They released last week this
Yeah. I saw
article
this. I saw this. Yeah.
where they basically said 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy still lives with a roommate, splits the rent, and drives Toyota's Sequoia. With 2022 Mr. Relevant cohabiting with a mystery offensive lineman despite his 870,000 salary. Simultaneously, the same week, they dropped this article. Renter shares images of appalling 1,200 a month San Francisco apartment that that has a bedside camping stove
Wow.
instead of a kitchen. And now I understand why he's sharing. Why he's sharing? Look at this. This is the camp stove,
Yeah.
and this is yo 1,200.
Yeah.
I don't
Uh,
want to know what Brock is paying with his offensive line, but I understand. Shout out to Brock. He's a start, man. He's making that team win, of course, with a great coach.
yeah.
And I think they hit. They were lucky because they sold out on Trey Lance. They sold out on Trey Lance, and they had to they had to trade him for pennies on a dollar. And they had Brock. They have Brock, which saved the stint of the current coach. If they didn't have Brock, they probably would have been fired by now. Sometimes I wish they had taken Mac Jones when they traded up to take Mac Jones, and then suddenly they chose Trey Lance. Sometimes I wish they had taken. Then we would have stink more and got us maybe a CJ Stroud this year or last year or someone that's a good quarterback. Right now we're struggling with bum ass dudes, man. Come on. With that being said, RJ, you can close out the show, man. Tired of these bats. Right? People are talking crazy, man. You know how this
Usually we want to end on a high note, man. That's that's
watching that game. I hope we start winning some games. We are totally screwed, by the way, because Matthew Judon is injured and Gonzalez is injured.
yeah.
Those are two key
Key
players on the
players.
defense.
Yeah.
Bill, please tank, man. Please let it go. Please tank. Tell Robert we're gonna tank for a quarterback and a good offensive lineup. Trade this guy to some other victim in the. They are, anyone will trade for Mac, a second rounder, and pick some move something, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
losing.
on that high note, man. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Whatever your thoughts are, let us know in the comment section below. Remember to rate the show by pressing the like button. Don't forget to share the video with your friends, your enemies, and of course your family. And again,
And
if I
Cowboys fans.
and what
And Cowboys fans.
and Cowboys fans as well.
The Pats.
Uh, Subscribe, guys. That's really important. So subscribe to the channel, and remember to always have a healthy conversation in the comment section below. It's been a pleasure. We'll see each other in the next one. Till next time, peace.
Peace.